I don't know how my algorithm got so full of like animal videos and stuff now, but I just seen a video this morning. This blows my mind. That there's this guy out in the middle of a pasture with a bull, and the bull is just like playing with a ball. And this guy's like walking literally up to the bull as the bull's like playing with the ball. I'll put the clip right here. So you mean to tell me that there's been millions of dollars, probably billions at this point, because of all the different bull shows that's been out there, or the riding of the bulls and stuff like that, but all these shows that people have paid to come and see, I think they're called matadors, out there with that little red sheet, you know, trying to tease a bull and trying to not get killed. Like, and then there's just a guy. Dude, nobody will ever have respect for matadors ever again, dude, because literally you could just go out there with a ball and play with them. Good morning. It's another foggy one. It is 8:30 in the morning right now on Tuesday morning. I hope everybody out there is doing well. This is not clickbait. The title that you've seen that hopefully made you click on this, besides the fact that this is day 48 out of 100. Pay the truck off, baby. Woo. Oh, that was a good one. Woo. But this is not clickbait. I did get called out by Mr. Triple T, Tim, over there at the Triple T channel. He also has Dog Pound Reacts. These are the two channels here. I'll put a picture of each one of them up, and I'll link him down below so you can go see him as well. I know everybody thinking, wow, this guy calls you out and you're putting his links down there. Yeah, I just want you to see what this guy's about. And I want to discuss the call out. And funny enough, I want to thank you, Tim. I already did in the comment and told you I respect your opinion. But I've been thinking about it for the last 20 minutes about how right you are. Here's the comment. It basically reads, he's basically calling me out for the hypocrisy, for the fact that, you know, I've said these things about my mother in the last couple of videos and recent videos. And it boils down to two things. It's two parts here. One part is, no matter what, at the end of the day, that's still my mother, and without her, I wouldn't have been brought into this world. And you're 100% right. I would not be who I am. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. And at the end of the day, she is my mother. And honestly, I don't know exactly what I want to come of it. This all stemmed from the fact that I wanted my sister to be, you know, my sister and I have been talking about this for a while, about her being able to share her story, and I wanted to also get a couple of local people. If people don't know, I live in Portsmouth, Ohio, and it is a addiction, drug-riddled town. I mean, we have been up there in the top 10s of cities that have the biggest epidemic of drug problems and drug addiction, and you're either an addict or you work in, you know, a rehab center or whatever. Everybody in this town is touched in some way by addiction. Just recently, actually, a friend of mine, for some reason, his body washed up in the Ohio River, and I don't know, there's probably a conclusion out there about it, but he struggled with addiction. But I said all that to say, I wanted my sister to be able to share her story. I wanted her to be able to talk about it. It's therapeutic to talk about it. And it's unavoidable. You can't tell our story without saying the things that our mother did. Now, what do I hope to gain from that? I don't know. I don't hate my mom, and I don't want to go the rest of my life without a relationship with her, without her being able to not only see me, but her grandkids. That's the ultimate goal. I am a little selfish in the fact that I hold this opinion or this thought or this dream, if you will, that she's just one day going to text me or call me and say, you know what, you're right. I made a ton of mistakes, and I apologize for that, and I want to do anything I can to fix that. I don't think that's ever going to happen. If that were to happen, things would move quickly towards a mended relationship. Now, is it realistic to think that she's going to own everything? No. And that's kind of why we've been in this weird limbo we have for all these years, is she probably thinks the same about me. There's probably things that she feels that I wronged her and would like for me to apologize for. But, you know, it's just, for me, it's I'm her child, right? So for me, it's, man, you got to come to me, you know. But at the end of the day, do I hate my mom? No. Am I wrong for bashing my mom and putting her? Probably. I mean, and I'm man enough to admit that. And I appreciate the fact that Tim is man enough to call me out on that. At the end of the day, I just want everybody to know, including my mother, that I don't hate her, and the plan isn't to just get as much hate from my mother as I can out there and get people to dislike her for my own reasons. And clearly, there was a lot of comments, man, and a lot of people are still in that same place. They came from that same type of situation and they're still pained by it. There was a lot of comments that was like, man, you know, I had the same thing happen to me as a kid, and it still makes me mad that my mother did that to me or my father did that to me, and I stay away from them and this and that. And I think the most important thing is to not let it destroy you. I mean, it's one thing to let it separate you guys, and for your kids, if you have them, to never have a relationship with their grandparent. That's one thing, but to let it ruin you, and that was the main point I was trying to get across, was you guys seen my sister. I love her to death, man, but she has suffered and suffered and continues to suffer, and doesn't quite have that, I'm trying to think of the way to word it that doesn't offend her either, but she just isn't there yet. She's not ready to, she doesn't have that growth, I should say. She doesn't have that clarity of, is the things that happen in her childhood wrong? Yes. Are they terrible? Yes. Should it be a good excuse for some of the behavior as an adult? Yes. And I said some. She's not there yet. You guys heard her sit on my couch and say, that's the reason my life is the way it is. And people say, oh, well, no, that's not a good excuse. And she's still in firm belief that, yes, it is. That because of the things that happened to her as a child, there is no doing good. There is no being able to succeed. But I want her to know that there is. And step one of that is to share the story. Step two is to figure out how you're going to heal from that story. So that's part one of this, and that was my reasoning for, it's kind of odd, just keep on driving up next to me, backing off. But I guess if anything else, and I don't owe anybody an explanation by any means, but I guess that's my reasoning for sharing the things that I shared. And there's a part of me that was like, hey, that's my story, I'm allowed to share it. And I think I said that at the end of one of these videos, but doesn't mean I should, right? So let's talk about part two of this, and me being a massive hypocrite, and another thing that Tim is 100% right about. He said, this is the same thing that you made fun of Ryan for, and he's 100% right. And in a now deleted video, I went really, really hard on Ryan, and I shouldn't have, but that was me projecting my own problems, my own anger that I have for my situation, projecting it out on him. This guy Ryan is sharing with the world that him and his mother's relationship's crumbling, that, you know, hey, I feel that she's stolen from me, she's deceived me, I can't believe this. He lashed out, got a tattoo on his face. You know, he did all that, and he was sharing it with his people. He was opening up at a vulnerable time. And me being what I've went through with my mother, and always telling myself, oh, well, you gotta, you know, toughen up. Even though deep down inside, I'm a hurt young man, right? I'm a hurt, I don't want to say boy, but my mom hurt me, and I couldn't, you know, being hurt and visibly hurt and letting people know that you're hurt is seen as weakness, is seen as, oh, we're being a little sissy boy. So what, your mommy was mean to you. So that's my own demons. That's my own problems that I've never allowed anybody to see me being hurt, so to speak. I've always been, nah, man, I don't care. Screw my mom, man. I'm tougher than that. I don't care what she did to me. The hell with her. And so whenever he opened up and was looking for support from his peers and from the community and from this site, and shared that he was going through something with his mother, what did I do? I lashed out and projected all my crap on him. And I was like, oh, look at this. Oh, mommy didn't try. Look at this tattoo. Oh, man. And I went hard on him, man, and I shouldn't have. And that was just my own. And then what a hypocrite to what, a year or two later to come on here and do the same thing. And Tim's 100% right. You know, here I am being like, well, here's what my mom did to me. Screw her. I don't know, man, but that's the kind of stuff that I like. I want people, don't get me wrong, I like the comments of people backing up things that I say or supporting me and being like, yeah, you're right about this, James, and, you know, yeah, you have all the right to feel that way. Because it's correct both ways, but I love when somebody, and that's how you'll know if you're in a good place. And I guess that's what makes locals, right, is when people call them out instead of taking a look inward. Not that inward, this inward. You gotta, at some point in your life, you gotta not only respect when somebody calls you out, but just think about it. Time's precious, right? Time it's that one currency that none of us can get enough of. We're all running out of it. And for this man to take his time and type that long of a comment and to do it in a way to try to get my attention and to say, hey man, look, you know, here's how I feel about this, and here's how you should see this, and you got to realize that you're being a hypocrite. And I don't know, to me that's a sign of caring. And that's what I've tried to tell people over the years. When you call somebody out, and just recently my wife, I won't go into details, but recently my wife has been struggling with a close friend who is acting a certain way. And I said to her, well, you do know as a good friend, you would call her out on it. As a good friend, you would point out the problems. Does it get awkward? Yeah, but it's so unhealthy to have a bunch of people around you that's afraid to call you out, and a real friend would. We would all be in a better place if we were willing to call each other out for our crap and our downfalls. And who knows, I would have made it, maybe I never would have made this video letting my mother know that I don't hate her and I don't want to stay away from her for the rest of my life, and I would like to figure out some sort of relationship, and if nothing else, give her some insight on how that's possible and how to make that possible, if that makes any sense. But I don't know how long I've rambled on. 13. I may just upload this the way it is and this just be today's video. But again, no hate to Triple T, no hate to Tim, his wife Lori. They're great people. I've always gotten along with them on here. I've never met them personally, but I watch a lot of his content, and I have the utmost respect for the man. He fought for our country, and he's always kept it real with me. And I hope you guys, if you're not sub to him or you've never seen him, go check him out, man. He actually has a really good show, The Rundown, that he's been doing, and the guy's got a bright future on here, and he really takes pride in his content, and he gets some really cool guests on there too. So anyway, man, Triple T, love you. The rest of you guys out there, love you too. Mom, I don't know, call me, you know. Maybe we both just need to figure out where each other's at and how we can meet each other in the middle somewhere. But love you guys, and I'm heading, man. I gotta go to Culloden, West Virginia, or Culloden, West Virginia. I don't know how you say it, but it doesn't even matter how you say it, because I'm going there to do a job so I can make money and pay that truck off, baby. Woo!